Welcome to another BasedBellagio video. Today we're going to discuss ranking the maps in Tarkov on this wipe 0.13 from worst to best in terms of loot. This is definitely better for the solo player, but these tips will definitely work for teams also. But there's always more loot when you're by yourself, obviously. That's the code of the rat. We'll start with the left side and we'll just work our way right. We'll save the best for last, right? Shoreline is a frustrating map for a lot of people because there is a good chunk amount of quest here which can prevent you from extracting with loot. A lot of sweaty people here. But there is a lot of loot to be had. Many jackets in the villas, the villages. You can get so many keys here. There are tech spawns in a lot of the houses randomly, in kitchens. You have over, I don't want to misquote, but at least, 15 to 20 something caches on this map that you can master. Definitely a great map to go in and out of because they've updated all the extractions. There's a couple more extracts for scavs even. Mainly for PMC though, but they took out the rock passage extraction. The famous extraction behind the resort, that was a great one to get in and out of. That's gone now. The resort itself is amazing loot. Even if you have no keys, you can go there. And the best part is, Shoreline people sleep on for scavving on. You could scav on Shoreline and 9 out of 10 times, you won't see any PMCs. You'll just gather loot and get out of there. It's a really good map for money. Lighthouse, I'm not the most experienced with. From what I know though, there's a lot of juice on this map, a lot of loot. There's also a lot of extractions, which makes it good for escaping and getting money, like surviving. As opposed to maps like Customs, as a PMC, this is a choke point map, and they make you basically travel from one side of the map to the other just to extract. So Lighthouse is a little bit more freeing. Yeah, you're going to be traveling from one side of the map to the other, but it's not as choke pointy as Customs. But I don't know much about the loot here. So we're going to move on until I master it. Reserve, my favorite map. So much loot. If you're not making money on Reserve, you're just not playing the game. Anywhere you look, there's loot. On every pile of things, every surface. There's a bunch of secret loot spots here. For example, in the horse buildings. When you walk in, everyone knows about the coats. But no one ever checks the surfaces of all the tables. There is gun parts. There is even guns that spawn. Right out in the open, graphics cards, great map. The downside is, as a PMC early wipe, you are very limited on extractions. You are at the mercy of other people pressing the button and you waiting at the bunker. You're at the mercy of waiting for the train. You are, if you're proactive, your best exit is the D3 exit or the D2 exit, whatever it's called down there. I don't care about the name, I just care about pressing that button and getting out of there. But that is the best exit. There's loot the entire way to the exit. But you can easily get exit camp down there very easily. Once you get the Red Rebel, Reserve is a rat's haven. The reason why the Red Rebel is still in the millions is because of maps like Reserve. I don't even know if there's other maps that even use the Red Rebel anymore. Maybe Lighthouse has a Red Rebel exit, but Reserve, when you get the Red Rebel, is a money maker. This is top tier. Factory. Factory is dependent on your playstyle. You can make a lot of money here just by getting other players' gear if you're good at PvP or even just good at scavenging. But in terms of loot spawns, it's hit or miss. There are good spawns here, but because of the small map and the high PvP and high combat, it's either going to be taken or not get. Like, you're not going to get it, basically. It's us. You're either going to get killed on the way. Factory, again, depending on your playstyle, you might be great here. That might be your money-making spot. The exits on Factory make it a great map to get in and out of, but again, you might get pinned down by scavs, PMCs. It's an odd map. Definitely, I'm not going to say it's bad. I can't say it's good. It's one of those, like, mystery maps. Woods. Not my map, but there is a lot of juice here, and especially the more I learn about it. There's over 36 caches on Woods, which I find really hard to believe. I don't know hardly any of them. I know all the caches on Shoreline. I know some of them on Interchange, some on customs. Woods has over 36 of them. Besides those though, there are rare keycard spawns on Woods. The violet keycard can spawn there. Numerous spots, the car at the lumber mill and in the little hut, medical hut I call it. Woods is good for some people. It's not my map I go to get loot for like spawning in crates or stuff like that, but there are crates around the map. People come here to get food, which I find unfathomable. I go to get food either at Reserve in the kitchen or in Interchange, you know, at Goshen. But Woods is definitely a good map. You just have to know it. I do not know the caches. With 36 caches, you can have various loot runs from one side of the map to the other and just carving the caches through the entire map. Customs, a lot of juice. I don't like it because the choke points to scav on customs though is actually really good. You can make good money scavving on customs. You might find maps you load into filled with dead bodies. You just get to pick whatever you want. Customs has caches. Customs has a lot of different buildings, medical buildings, tech buildings, the dorms, a lot of keys. Customs is full of juice. The downside, choke point central. As a PMC, to get from one side of the map to the other, you will be crossing paths with people. Not much else to say about customs though. There are some keys here some people use. The checkpoint key is still worth money to this day. I don't know why. People used to tell me because weapons spawn there and people would go there and get easy weapons, but I don't know. Interchange is another one of my favorite maps. There's so much loot here. Everything you can imagine, from computers, tech, tools. This is where I go to get most of my hideout accomplished. The bad part, I have to just say this out front, the extraction camping is customary on Interchange. I got exit camp the other day as a scav by other scavs. The economy is so bad in Tarkov right now that exit camping is through the proverbial roof. But with that being said, you can make a lot of money on Interchange if you survive, if you time it right, or if you use the side exit without a backpack and bring a big rig. You can make a lot of money here. There's also caches. You never even have to step foot inside the mall. You could just spend the whole time doing caches outside the mall. And then finally, the piece de resistance, Streets of Tarkov. My favorite map right now, obviously because we're all in the honeymoon phase, brand new. Streets of Tarkov is really top notch. The bad thing right now is it's extremely laggy and buggy with the netcode. There are people everywhere. It's the most popular map right now, so even scavving on it is insane. There's so many people on it. But if you can make it through all that and master all the really cool, convenient extractions, some people might say even too many extractions, you will be able to make a lot of money on Streets of Tarkov for sure. 100%. The downside right now is, like I mentioned, the netcode. Once they fix it, once the game calms down a little bit, I think Streets will be one of the legendary maps. Obviously, everybody does. There is a room for everything on Streets. There's stuff that I haven't even discovered yet. There's places I haven't even been yet. Absolute massive, massive map. And I love it. And the only thing I can add to it right now is one of my favorite low-key loot spawns, but extremely high risk, is the middle of the park, right by the theater. It's like a sunken park, so you're a little covered, but not really. There is some good loot in that park in various different spots, a lot of tools, food, whatever you could think of really, but it's very dangerous. And that is all. If this video you liked, hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button for more game topics, Tarkov topics, and other, and I'll catch you on the next one.